Now, this man was just 15 years old when he joined the cast of Neighbours as a one-off guest appearance. 17 years later, and Toadie has transformed from a troublesome teen to a qualified lawyer.
But with recent news that he's about to become a dad, will his partner's ex, who's out for revenge, spoil all their happiness?
You his life and stay out.
Oh, well, Ryan's here now. Welcome to you. So nice to meet you. I remember your first time onto Neighbours. Because it was back when I used to go straight from school, come home and watch Neighbours all the time. And I remember when you guys all first came in. But for you, that audition wasn't... The very first audition you did for Neighbours wasn't for his role, was it?
No, it was for the character of Brett Stark.
Yeah.
And then I came back and played a vandal called Cyborg. I don't know what is it
with the names?
I don't know. And then Toadie, yeah.
So why? Why did they... What did they see when you came in and played the Vandal? What was it?
They saw an incredibly bad haircut that kind of looked like one of the other characters, Stonefish. So I actually looked very similar to him when he was younger. So basically,
what was the story then with the hair? Because it ended up with you going in and the night before your mum had to brush your hair out, hadn't you? Because
I had dreadlocks. Yeah. I put it in dreadlocks, so I got the gig and then had to brush them all out.
That must have hurt.
Yeah, it did.
A lot.
So sorry, Oz, working there for that amount of time, and you've actually grown up on screen, haven't you?
Yeah. Yep.
You were at school at the same time? You were doing that and you were still in high school?
I was, yeah. I didn't do it very well.
In what way? Does it affect your studies, or does it friends?
Absolutely, yeah. I did. I was very good at school, but unfortunately, when you maybe 16, 17, you're earning a fair amount of money and
hard to concentrate.
Yeah. There's other things that you want to go off and do.
Well, there's the Neighbours Night tours. What are the Neighbours Nights tours? What were they?
There was a trivia night.
Yeah.
That the backpackers, obviously lots of you guys wander over, and you can meet the cast of Neighbours. Yeah.
And do they still do that?
Yeah, they do.
You don't do them anymore, though.
No.
And is it true that when you did them at first, that was a source of meeting new girls from overseas?
Yes.
Is that right?
It was. Well, come on, I had a really bad haircut. Anyway, you can.
So did they eventually say, right, that's it, you can't do them anymore?
No, they didn't. No,
that's a story. That is a story that's going around.
Yeah. No, I just grew up and I met my lovely wife and, kind of that was the end of it all.
He's had some great storylines, but actually over the years he sort of started out as this lovable rogue, and I think when he first started you'd never imagined that he'd become sort of the pillar of society that he is, and being a lawyer and part of all of that.
Yeah, and he actually got his law degree in 2.5 years.
And it's a miracle.
Yeah, I'm still not too sure what kind of law he does, but let's not go into that. Yeah, no. He's a very good lawyer.
Did you see that one coming? And the fact that he would end up being a lawyer?
No, not at all. I mean, like literally, when you get the contract, for me anyway, it was for one episode, and then we'd come back and do a couple more scenes, and then it was like a couple of weeks, and then a couple of months. And so it grew from that, and probably seriously, maybe like 5 years went by before you actually got a serious kind of contract. So, I never saw any of this, really.
Was there ever a moment where you thought, I wish his nickname wasn't Toadie?
Yeah, but it works, doesn't it? Everyone remembers it because it's so bad.
So why Toadfish?
Because they're very ugly and dangerous.
And at the time, when you went in, first of all, it was ugly and dangerous.
That's exactly it, yeah.
You've changed so much. I mean, you've sort of almost unrecognisable from, obviously from being him as a kid, but particularly around sort of 2010. I mean, you got into fitness in a massive way, didn't you?
Yeah. I ran a couple of marathons and lost a bit of weight, and it was a very good time in my life, really.
Well, you stopped doing the marathons because you're saying that it was taking its toll on you, wear and tear.
Yeah. Doctor said I can't do it.
Right. So you took up cycling.
Yes.
And then got run over.
I've actually been run over twice.
Have you? Doesn't put you off a little bit?
A little bit, but it's just part of those. It's just one of those things. And for all those people,
it's one of those things.
It's just one of those things. It's something, if you're being a cyclist and you're out there with cars, you've got to be aware that can happen. But you should wear a helmet. Everyone wear a helmet.
I know you were quite surprised, weren't you, when you came over here and all the cyclists in London and around that they don't not many had
Absolutely.
helmets on.
Well, the last one, which was actually last Tuesday.
When you were run over?
Yeah, I hit the car at about 40 kilometres an hour
Oh my
and went over the top and landed on my head. So if I didn't have the helmet on,
Was this back at home?
yeah.
Wow.
Did he hit you or did you hit him?
Oh, no, it was just one of those things where he couldn't have never have seen me coming and I didn't see him coming and we met that way.
Are you an unlucky person? Yeah. Because you've got the reason I asked that is because you've got your pilot's licence as well, or are you going for your pilot?
I do have my pilot's licence. I'm going for my commercial licence now, yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So the people, around where you live just constantly look up in the air and think, he's up again, he's up again, he's up again. Because if you're an unlucky person, you don't necessarily want to be at the controls of an aeroplane.
I think maybe the passengers worry a bit when I put on a helmet before we take off.
They say, hello, this is Toadfish. Buckle up.
So you want to be a commercial pilot?
Yeah, eventually, yeah. That's the aim.
So would you then join up an airline and what, would you just do that at the expense of the telly?
Yes, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Total change.
Yeah. I wanted to be a pilot.
Does that give us an
beforehand.
insight to what's going to happen with the storyline about him becoming father? Is this his exit storyline?
No, not at all. I'm actually... look, Neighbours is one of those jobs. It's one of the best jobs in the world. I turn up and I muck around and I have a great time. I work with awesome people. The lady that I'm working with at the moment, Eve, is just fantastic. And I don't want to be anywhere else at the moment. So...
Yeah.
In terms of the flying, it's just one of those things that's just going to chip away, and then when the time comes, I'm going to be ready.
Very good.
How long do you reckon? How long do you think?
Probably another year and a half before I'm qualified for commercial. Yeah.
And do you fly yourself around in Australia on the licence that you've got now?
Yeah.
Zip around, because that's what a great place to be.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty good.
I quite like the thought of that, actually.
Do you?
Have you ever turned up for work in the plane? You just land, go away for the weekend and then fly back again?
Well, I mean, there's nowhere to land at work.
Ramsey Street's quite wide. Isn't there an Erinsborough aerodrome?
Yes, there is. Yeah, there's actually an international airfield
there you
right
are.
around the corner
Suspect
from
that
Harold's.
might be an option. What do you say? It's make-believe? Thank you, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's
Lovely to
Neighbours.
meet you.
It's weekdays, 5:30 on Channel 5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, in just a moment.